The Tampa Bay Bucs host the St. Louis Rams this week in a battle of two teams who lost their Week 1 games. The Bucs, a 6-point favorite on BETDAQ. 37 is the total. That's the lowest total of the week. We do expect a low-scoring game here. That has more to do with the lack of quality of these two offenses than it does the quality of these two defenses. Now, I personally had high hopes for the Tampa Bay Bucs heading into the season. I liked them at home last week against the Carolina Panthers, but if you saw that game, you really realize, and I'm sure it was a sobering experience for a lot of Bucs fans, they really aren't there on offense. There's talent at the skill positions. Obviously, they have Josh McCown now, a veteran quarterback, to lead that offense. And that's why some people had hopes heading into the season, but you knew they would struggle on the offensive line. Certainly didn't help that new arrival, Pro Bowl guard Logan Mankins, left that game last week early with a knee injury, questionable for this game this week. But the Tampa offense was just dominated by that Carolina defense. I know the Carolina front seven, one of the best in the NFL, but Carolina only returned one starter in the secondary, so you were hoping that maybe Josh McCown could do a little something, and McCown really looked terrible. Never had any time, though. Tampa couldn't run the ball either. It was a disastrous performance for the Tampa offense, although it wasn't quite as bad as what the St. Louis Rams put forth on Sunday in front of their home fans when they were run over by the Minnesota Vikings, a team that finished last place in their division last year, and a team that many people, had the Vikings projected to finish last place in the NFC North this season. Obviously, they're 1-0. It's only week 2 now, so remains to be seen if the Vikings are a good or a bad team this season. But what we know is that it was ugly last week in St. Louis. Shaun Hill benched. We found out after the game it was an injury apparently. Hill is officially questionable for this game. Jeff Fisher claims Hill is his man if he's healthy enough to go. I don't know. In real time last Sunday, I thought Hill was just being benched for Austin Davis, who actually moved the team a little bit better than Hill did when he was in there. But Davis so inexperienced, you can't have any confidence in the St. Louis offense if they're going with Davis this week. Of course, it's tough to have much confidence in the Rams if they're going with Hill after what we saw last week against the Minnesota defense that was not exactly stellar last season. Now, I think what we can expect from both of these teams is conservative play on the offensive side. Both Jeff Fisher and Lovie Smith, both head coaches, come from defensive backgrounds. These are defense-first head coaches, and both these defenses were expected to be pretty good headed into the season. And both these defenses, I think what they have in common this week is now they get an opponent that they'll be able to take advantage of a little bit. St. Louis was surprised by that new-look, Norv Turner-led Minnesota Vikings offense, and obviously they didn't hold up very well. I think they'll do better against this Tampa Bay offense that was so inept last week against Carolina. We know the Bucs have trouble on the offensive line, and St. Louis, even without Chris Long, an excellent defensive line. Likewise, I think that Tampa offense is going to, I think the Tampa defense is going to have more success against this Austin Davis or Shaun Hill-led St. Louis Rams offense. I do think the Rams are really going to try to run the ball, make a concerted effort with Zach Stacy, Benning Cunningham, sure to get some looks as well. And I think the Rams are going to have more success running the ball in this game due to stubbornness, if nothing else, than they did last week against Minnesota. And that's one of the reasons why I think 6 just might be too many here. It's not that I don't think Tampa's going to win the game. I think they might win the game. As a matter of fact, I would like a Tampa money line bet more than I would like a St. Louis money line bet, but 6 feels like too many points. This is going to be a low-scoring, ugly game. Tough to go under a total like 37, but certainly wouldn't be eager to be placing an over bet here. Like I said, I guess St. Louis plus 6 is my favorite bet. The Rams could win this game, and they could junk it up enough to keep it close. I think 6 too many points. St. Louis plus 6, my recommendation here.